Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop caring about rejection, opportunities seem to flow your way? Person looking dejected after rejection, then scene transitions to same person appearing confident while opportunities approach. What if rejection isn't your enemy, but your greatest teacher? This isn't New Age philosophy. It's a principle the ancient Stoics mastered 2,000 years ago. I'm Russell, and today we're diving deep into reverse psychology through the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius in Stoic philosophy. Reverse psychology, 15 lessons on how to use rejection to your favor. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." By the end of this video, you'll understand 15 practical lessons that transform rejection from a painful experience into your secret weapon for success. Whether you're facing rejection in relationships, career, or personal goals, these timeless principles might just change everything. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The paradox of desire. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Marcus Aurelius. The first lesson of reverse psychology is understanding the paradox of desire. When we desperately want something, we create an emotional attachment that often repels what we seek. Example, split screen showing person anxiously checking phone for response versus person engaged in activity while phone sits ignored. Think about dating. The person constantly checking their phone seems needy. The person living their life seems attractive. Marcus Aurelius understood this paradox. The more desperately we pursue something, the more it eludes us. Instead of chasing, try this. Define what you want. Take reasonable action, then detach from the outcome. This isn't giving up. It's strategic detachment. Lesson 2. The dichotomy of control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics practice something called the dichotomy of control, focusing only on what you can influence. In any rejection scenario, certain elements are within your control. Your preparation, your presentation, your response to rejection, and certain elements are not. Others' opinions, their final decision. External circumstances. Example, job interview scenario showing preparation versus hiring decision. By focusing exclusively on what you control, you achieve two things. You maximize your chances of success. You remain unshaken by rejection. This isn't just philosophy, it's practical psychology. Lesson 3. Negative visualization. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. Marcus Aurelius Stoics practiced something fascinating called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Instead of avoiding thoughts of rejection, they intentionally visualize worst-case scenarios to build psychological immunity. Here's how you can practice this. Before an important pitch, imagine it being rejected. Before asking someone out, imagine them saying no. Before sharing your idea, imagine it being criticized. This isn't negative thinking, it's psychological preparation. Visual. Person appearing calm when actual rejection occurs. By mentally rehearsing rejection, you diffuse its emotional power. When it happens, you're prepared rather than devastated. Lesson 4. The attraction of non-neediness. Just as nature takes every obstacle and works around it, so too can a rational being turn each setback into raw material. Marcus Aurelius people are naturally attracted to those who don't need them. This isn't manipulation. It's human psychology. We value what is sufficient unto itself. Example, two social media profiles, one constantly seeking validation versus one sharing value confidently. In relationships, careers, and social dynamics, neediness repels while self-sufficiency attracts. The Stoic approach. Build your internal value. Share that value freely. Remain unattached to others' responses. When you genuinely don't need approval, you paradoxically become more likely to receive it. Lesson 5. Rejection as natural selection. Everything that happens happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics viewed rejection as part of nature's intelligence, not a personal failure. When your job application is rejected, your romantic interest says no, or your idea is dismissed, consider, what if this rejection is actually protecting you from a toxic workplace, an incompatible relationship, a flawed direction? Example, split screen showing initial rejection and subsequent better opportunity. Instead of fighting rejection, trust that it might be natural selection working in your favor, removing options that wouldn't serve your highest good. Lesson 6. The self-fulfilling prophecy. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. Your expectations often create your reality, a principle modern psychology confirms as expectancy effects. When you expect rejection, your body language becomes defensive, your tone lacks confidence, you present ideas apologetically. Example, split screen showing same person approaching situation with different mindsets. The reverse psychology approach, expect positive reception while being at peace with rejection. Present your ideas with calm confidence. Notice how differently people respond. This isn't magical thinking. It's recognizing how your expectations shape both your behavior and others' perceptions. Lesson 7. The obstacle is the way. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Every rejection contains a valuable information if you're willing to see it. Example. Entrepreneur receiving investor feedback, making adjustments, then succeeding. When facing rejection, ask, what can I learn from this feedback? Ask, how can I improve based on this information? Ask, what new direction might this be revealing? The person who views rejection as a teacher ultimately outperforms the person who avoids it. What's blocking your path isn't stopping you. It's showing you the way forward. Lesson 8. The reverse. Ask, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Marcus Aurelius. Visual. Person asking for coffee versus asking for advice. Here's a practical application of reverse psychology, the reverse ask. Instead of directly asking for what you want, ask for something that positions others as valued for their wisdom. Examples. Instead of, will you mentor me? Try, what one piece of advice would you give someone in my position? Instead of, will you fund my project? Try, what would make this project more fundable in your view? Example, email exchange showing direct request versus reverse ask. This approach reduces perceived pressure, engages the other person's expertise, creates collaboration rather than demand. Often, they'll offer more than you would have requested. Lesson 9. Strategic withdrawal. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Marcus Aurelius. Sometimes the most powerful move is a temporary retreat. In negotiation psychology, this is called walking away power, the willingness to accept a no. Example, person calmly withdrawing from negotiation, other side reconsidering. The Stoic approach to strategic withdrawal. State your position clearly. If rejected, accept it genuinely, not tactically. Redirect your energy elsewhere. Allow time and space for reconsideration. This isn't playing hard to get. It's recognizing that genuine withdrawal often creates space for reconnection on better terms. Lesson 10. The value proposition shift. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. When facing rejection, most people make a critical mistake. They try harder with the same approach. The Stoic method is different. Shift the value proposition. Example, business pitch being transformed after rejection. Instead of, here's why you should accept what I'm offering. Try, what would make this valuable to you? This does two things. It acknowledges the other person's perspective. It reframes the conversation around mutual value. By approaching rejection as an opportunity to create better alignment, you transform a no into a collaborative exploration. Lesson 11. Voluntary discomfort. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics regularly practiced voluntary discomfort to build resilience against life's hardships. You can apply this to rejection by intentionally seeking small rejections. Ask for discounts where none are advertised. Reach out to people you admire, expecting no response. Share creative work, knowing criticism is possible. Example, Jia Jiang's 100 Days of Rejection Therapy Experiment. Each small rejection builds your immunity, making larger rejections less impactful. The goal isn't to become desensitized, but to recognize that rejection rarely causes the catastrophic outcomes we fear. Lesson 12. The Agreement Principle. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius. When someone rejects you, their energy is often defensive. The natural response is to push back, creating more resistance. Try instead the agreement principle. Validate their perspective, even if you disagree. Find something you can genuinely agree with, redirect rather than oppose their energy. Example, customer rejection scenario with two different responses. Instead of defending your position, try, "You're right to have concerns. This is an important decision that deserves careful consideration." This disarms the rejection energy and creates space for reconsideration without confrontation. Lesson 13. The Perspective Shift. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Marcus Aurelius' rejection often feels personal because we view it from a limited perspective. The Stoic technique is to intentionally adopt multiple perspectives. The personal perspective. How am I experiencing this rejection? The other's perspective. What might be influencing their decision? The observer's perspective. How would a neutral third party view this interaction? The future perspective. How will I view this rejection 5 years from now? Example. Job rejection scenario viewed from multiple perspectives. By expanding your perspective, rejection transforms from a personal attack into valuable information within a larger context. Lesson 14. The Law of Reversed Effort. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Visual. Person trying to force closed door versus person finding open window. The law of reversed effort states, the harder you try to achieve something directly, the less likely you are to succeed. This is especially true with emotional and social goals. Example, person trying to be liked versus person being authentically helpful. The Stoic approach to reversed effort. Focus on providing value rather than getting approval. Concentrate on the process rather than the outcome. Release emotional attachment to specific results. When you stop trying so hard to avoid rejection, you create the psychological conditions that make acceptance more likely. Lesson 15. Amor fati, love of fate. Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Marcus Aurelius. The final and most powerful Stoic principle is amor fati, the love of fate. This means not just accepting rejection, but embracing it with genuine appreciation for what it teaches and where it leads you. Example, famous rejection stories. J.K. Rowling, Steve Jobs, etc. When you receive rejection, say thank you sincerely. Ask yourself, how is this rejection serving my growth? Look for the unexpected opportunity it creates. By loving what happens, including rejection, you transcend normal power dynamics and create something remarkable. Freedom from the fear of no. And when you're no longer afraid of no, your entire life transforms. Conclusion. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. We've explored 15 Stoic lessons for using reverse psychology and rejection to your advantage. The paradox of desire, the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, the attraction of non-neediness, rejection as natural selection, the self-fulfilling prophecy. The obstacle is the way, the reverse ask, strategic withdrawal, the value proposition, shift voluntary discomfort, the agreement principle, the perspective shift, the law of reversed effort, amor fati, love of fate, visual, before, after transformation of relationship with rejection. Remember, rejection isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The ancient Stoics knew what modern psychology confirms. Our relationship with rejection determines much of our success and happiness. If you found value in these principles, hit the like button and subscribe for more practical philosophy. Comment below with your own experience using reverse psychology or handling rejection. I read and respond to every comment. For deeper exploration of Stoic principles, check out my recommended reading list in the description. Until next time, remember what Marcus Aurelius taught us. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way.